Bactrian leaders. On the Potahar plateau of Taxila and northern trunk road Uttarapana is Gandhara. Its main cities are Taxila and Purushapura. Gandhara was a center of international commercial activities, an important channel of communication with ancient Iran, India, and Central Asia. This kingdom was ruled from capitals at Pushkalavati, Taxila, Purushapura, and its final days from Udabhandapura on Indus. Alexander the Great from Macedonia arrived in India in 326 BC, with whom the influence of Greek culture came to this part of the world. During the 2nd century BC, it was here that Buddhism was adopted as a state religion, which flourished and prevailed here for over 1,000 years, from 2nd century BC until the 10th century AD. During this time, Taxila, Swat, and Charsada became 3 important centers for culture, trade, and learning. Hundreds of monasteries and stupas were built together with the Greek and Kushan towns such as Sirkap, Sirsuk, both in Taxila. It was from these centers that a unique art of sculpture originated, which is known as the Gandhara art and is famous all over the world. The zenith of this Gandhara art is called as the fasting Buddha. Alexander from Greece crossed paths here in Gandhara with the Buddhist culture, and some sculpture exists of the Buddha with Greek faces. Seleucus recognized Mauryan Empire and gave up the eastern territories, including Gandhara and Arachosia. Finally, there was an epigamia, which can mean that either the 2 dynasties intermarried or the union of the Greeks with Indians were recognized. In 240 BC, the Bactrian leaders, who were of the Greek descent, revolted from their Seleucid overlords, and Bactrian leaders Euthydemus declared himself independent. Greco Bactrian Kingdom expanded into Drangiana and Gandhara. The invasion of Punjab took place in 184 BC, revitalized the Greek culture in the region south of Hindu Kush mountains. Euthydemus' son Demetrius created a new kingdom consisting of Gandhara, Arachosia, Punjab, and even a part of the Ganges Valley. Alexander finally gave up the empire to Chandragupta Maurya. Ashoka is called as half-Greek, the Diodotus. Some of the unusual effects of hellenization can be seen in India, in the region of the relatively late rising Indo-Greek kingdoms, and these isolated from Europe. Greek culture apparently hybridized with Indians, and especially the Buddhist influences. The first realistic portrayals of the Buddha appeared at this time. They were modeled on the Greek statues of Apollo. Several Buddhist traditions may have been influenced by the ancient Greek religion. The concept of bodhisattvas is reminiscent of the Greek divine heroes, and some Mahayana ceremonial practices like burning incense, gift flowers, and food placed on altars. They are all similar to those practiced by the ancient Greeks. The Zen Buddhism draws in part of the ideas of Greek Stoics such as Zeno. One Greek king called as King Menander became a Buddhist and was immortalized in the Buddhist literature as Milinda. The process of hellenization extended to the sciences. And one of the holy texts of the Buddhism is called as Milinda, Questions of Menander. Ideas from Greek astronomy filtered eastward and had profound influence on the Indian astronomy by the early centuries AD. Greek astronomical instruments dating to the 3rd century BC were found in the Greco Bactrian city, while the Greeks' concept of spherical earth surrounded by the spheres of planet was adopted in India and eventually supplanted the long-standing Indian cosmological belief into a flat and circular earth.
When man was a babe, there was a land of the free. Fantasy reigns, there is untouched well. Each man desires to reach Gandhara, his very own utopia. In the striving, in the seeking soul, man can see Gandhara. In Gandhara, Gandhara, they say it was in India. Gandhara, Gandhara, the place of light, Gandhara. The long ago far beyond the winding road, always beyond every bend, a beautiful end still waits for the few who make it to the very end. Each man desires to reach Gandhara, his very own utopia. In the striving, in the seeking soul, man can see Gandhara. In Gandhara, Gandhara, they say it was in India. Gandhara, Gandhara, the place of light, Gandhara. Gandhara, Gandhara, they say it was in India. A long time ago, when men were all babes, there was the land of the free. Fantasy dreams, there is untouched wealth, and goodness and love very real. Each man desires to reach Gandhara, his very own utopia. In the striving, in the seeking soul, man can see Gandhara. In Gandhara, Gandhara, they say it was in India. Gandhara, Gandhara, the place of light, Gandhara. When man was a babe, there was a land of the free. Fantasy reigns, there is untouched wealth, and goodness and love very real. Each man desires to reach Gandhara, his very own utopia. In the striving, in the seeking soul, man can see Gandhara. In Gandhara, Gandhara, they say it was in India. Gandhara, Gandhara, the place of light, Gandhara. The long ago far winding road, always beyond every bend, a beautiful end still waits for the few who make it to the very end. Each man decides to reach Gandhara, his very own utopia. In the striving, in the seeking soul, man can see Gandhara. In Gandhara, Gandhara, they say it was in India. Gandhara, Gandhara, the place of light. Gandhara, 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 they say it was in India. A long time ago, when men were all babes, there was a land of the free. Fantasy and dreams, there is untouched wealth, and goodness and love very real. Each man desires to reach Gandhara, his very own utopia. In the striving, in the seeking soul, man can see Gandhara. In Gandhara, Gandhara, they say it was in India. Gandhara, Gandhara, the place of light. Gandhara. When man was a babe, there was a land of the free. Fantasy and dreams, there is untouched wealth, and goodness and love is real. Each man desires to reach Gandhara, his very own utopia. In the striving, in the seeking soul, man can see Gandhara. In Gandhara, Gandhara, they say it was in India. Gandhara, Gandhara, the place of light. Gandhara. The long ago and far, beyond the winding road, always beyond every bend, a beautiful end still waits for the few who make it to the very end. Each man decides to reach Gandhara, his very own utopia. In the striving, in the seeking,